Today on Investigate TV Plus, it's something no parent wants to think about, but schools must be prepared. I'm T. Chappelle.
And I'm Lee Zurich. Our investigation finds some officers could be outgunned by a shooter on campus.
I believe that you've got to have everything that you could possibly have and are trained with to defend against that. We're defending children. If we wait, there's a really good chance it's costing us lives.
Why some departments train officers to carry more than just a handgun.
Plus, facing enemies while playing video games is expected, but hackers are now logging on to target gamers.
It flies under the radar, right? Video games don't fall in that same category that we think about for scary hacks.
Tips to protect you or your child's profile so it's not game over.
Let's do it, duckies.
See how this Duckmaster looks to uplift with this decades-long tradition.
All right, so we got to march some hope into that lobby. March some smiles and march some joy down there to the people.
In-depth stories that inform and inspire. You're watching Investigate TV Plus. We begin with a story parents need to see. Are police in your child's school fully trained and equipped to take out an active shooter?
We surveyed districts across the U.S. and found some school police would be outgunned when facing a shooter who has a rifle.
Investigative reporter Brendan Keefe explains, and we do want to warn you, there are images and sounds of gunfire in this piece, including from a Nashville school shooting.
Let's go!
They just went in without hesitation.
Metro Police!
You see these things on the news, but when it's your kid's school, you see them going through their classroom.
Hold the door!
You're watching them clear these spaces that your child plays in.
Sarah Shoup Newman was close to Covenant School when the first shots were fired.
My son was not at the school. He was with my husband, so I knew that he was safe, thank God.
The Nashville officers had patrol rifles. The school shooter had rifles too.
Rifle first, blue, go! Go, 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 go! Go, go, go!
3 grade schoolers and 3 staff members were killed before the officers reached the shooter.
Do you believe lives were saved that day?
Absolutely. I wish that all of them would have been, but there absolutely were numerous lives saved.
Reloading!
What they did, every law enforcement officer in this country should take notice.
Mo Kennedy protected this high school in Alabama. Now he runs the National Association of School Resource Officers.
Would I prefer to have a long gun in a situation here if I were faced with an active assailant? Absolutely.
The range of accuracy for a pistol in the hands of a trained police officer is roughly 10 to 15 yards. The range of accuracy for a rifle in the hands of an amateur can be greater than 100 yards, leaving the school police officer outgunned if all they have is a pistol. We surveyed school police across the nation and discovered a wide disparity from district to district.
Blue, blue, blue.
Rifles are standard issue for some school officers.
Stay right there, please.
Who mainly keep them locked in their patrol cars. But those rifles aren't available in entire districts, from Albuquerque to Indianapolis to Atlanta. On the first day of school, how many rifle qualified officers do you have on your department?
I won't have any.
Atlanta Public Schools Police changed its policy right after we asked why their more than 100 officers have training only in pistols.
If we're able to create opportunities or give our officers the ability to address these issues from a safer position with more accuracy, we're going to do it.
This is a neighboring district just south of Atlanta.
Bang, 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 bang.
The school police chief here also decided to add rifles and training for his 47 officers.
Police department.
After we asked what they would do when confronted with a rifle-toting school shooter. If one of your officers had to engage a shooter who had a rifle with only a pistol, they'd be outgunned right out of the gate, wouldn't they?
They would definitely be outgunned.
Parkland, Uvalde, Newtown, Nashville. The school shooters all brought rifles.
It is time to consider using whatever methods we need to stop the threat.
It's about time. For every minute a school shooter goes unchallenged, more students and staff die. To overcome that hurdle, the very first officer on scene is supposed to immediately engage the shooter alone. By definition, that first officer is the school police officer. But depending on where you live, that first officer might have access to a rifle, or they might only have a pistol. Covenant parent Sarah Shoup Newman is fighting to keep rifles out of the hands of future school shooters.
Police department!
And to put them in the hands of school police. Some people will watch this and say, wait, the answer to the problem with these guns isn't more guns.
We need more than damage mitigation. We need prevention. These kids saw their friends dead, and they're 9 years old. You don't get those images out of your head.
Reporter Brendan Keefe joins us with more on his investigation. Brendan, is there a national standard?
No, Lee, there is no national standard. That means it's up to each individual school district or school board or even the local police department to decide whether or not those school resource officers have access to rifles and training to use them.
Chief Ronald Applin with Atlanta Public Schools Police also told you prevention is key.
Oh, that's right. If you think about it, the best way to prevent people from getting shot or killed in a school shooting is to prevent it from happening in the first place. And that's what school resource officers are there really to do. They're there to prevent that incident from occurring. And every single day there are interactions between those school resource officers and students that we never hear about. And that's the good news.
Still ahead, a voyage to benefit students and to fill a critical need.
Not only are we preparing them for futures, but we're really handing over the responsibility of maintaining this fantastic resource.
Teens get a chance to take the helm and chart an unexpected career path.
I never imagined driving boats or doing anything of this sort.
But first, it's not just your children picking up controllers. Hackers lurk on the same video game platforms.
So as a result, whether you're on a PC or a console like a PlayStation or an Xbox, you're at the same amount of risk.
We talk to experts about the rise of gaming scams and how you can increase security on your accounts.
Our in-depth coverage continues. You can get connected to Investigate TV Plus on all social media platforms. It's a nearly $60 billion a year industry that's a relentless target for cyber criminals.
According to an industry security report in 2021, web attacks against the global video game industry more than doubled.
Consumer reporter Rachel DePompa has the security advice you need before you or your children get hacked, and it's game over.
Video games are an escape for almost 215 million Americans who play each week.
All right, don't shoot him.
People like Chris Stevens.
I brought you your teammate.
Who came of age in the gamer era.
I remember growing up in the 80s having a Nintendo and playing Super Mario Brothers.
The console's a bit more sophisticated now. Gamers are immersed in online worlds. They create accounts attached to personal information. They upload videos to YouTube and live stream on platforms like Twitch.
A lot of it is just interacting with people, being able to talk to people that like the same things that you like.
But it all comes with a glitch. Gamers are also a favorite target of hackers, as Stevens found out in 2017.
I'm not exactly sure how they got into it, but I had gotten an email from EA letting me know that somebody had logged into my account.
The hacker also altered Stevens' language preference to Russian. He had to use Google Translate to read the email and figure out his password was changed by somebody from a Russian IP address.
Is there that instance of panic?
You kind of stop and wonder what else has been compromised.
According to a report from cybersecurity company Akamai, in 2020, the video game industry suffered more than 240 million attacks, often through mobile or web-based games.
It flies under the radar, right? Video games don't fall in that same category that we think about for scary hacks.
Alex Netty is the CEO of cybersecurity company Hive Systems. He says not only are video game accounts worth a lot of money, but they are often linked to credit cards.
Of the American adults who currently play online games, a Norton LifeLock report shows almost half experienced a cyber attack to a gaming account or device. Now think about how many kids play video games.
According to the Entertainment Software Association, which lobbies on behalf of some of the largest game companies, more than 71% of children under the age of 18 are gamers. Marcy Thornhill is a mom and youth advocate. For 17 years, she's run a nonprofit helping teens prepare for college and choose a career.
You have to take more of a proactive role in your child's life.
Thornhill says know the names of the games your children are playing. Check the ratings. Sit beside them when they play. And dive into the settings menu. Explore it. Find out what you can turn on and off. Know how to shut off a chat window. Experts say report any strange activity inside a game to the company who owns it. Teach your children to be wary of clicking on links or giving out personal information in a chat. Better yet, disable the chat. Check out parentaltools.org. It can help you navigate a game's settings. And help your child understand why it's important to have a different password for each game account.
Chris Stevens stressed the best lesson he learned: turn on two-factor authentication in gaming accounts to add a second layer of protection. He says it's something he wished he had done sooner.
Coming up, behind-the-scenes access to a show that draws people from across the country.
There's a lot of people who've come a long way to see you. You never know what they've been through before they got here.
We waddle along with the Duckmaster, who's doing much more than just wrangling waterfowl.
But first, charting a course for success.
I never knew that these careers even existed growing up.
How some students acquired skills to navigate future careers on the water.
You can watch Investigate TV Plus anytime online. Just subscribe to our YouTube channel at Investigate TV. You can catch stories and full episodes. Lake Erie is one of Cleveland's greatest resources, but it remains out of reach for some young people, even those growing up just minutes from the lake, because poverty and access are challenges many face.
But there's a high school program that's creating opportunities for students who never imagined a life on the water. Reporter Brian Duffy goes aboard to see its impact.
A boat captain at barely 20 years old, Quentin Oliver often wonders how he ended up here.
At 11 and 12 years old, I had never been on the water at all. I never imagined driving boats or doing anything of this sort.
But here he is. Oliver is a captain with a license to navigate 25-ton vessels on Lake Erie and the Cuyahoga River. So how did he get here? Hard work, but also because of the relationship between the Cleveland schools, Davis Aerospace and Maritime High School, and a company called Argonaut. Argonaut is committed to giving underprivileged students, and every student in the school is economically disadvantaged, an opportunity to learn and work on the water. Captain Drew Ferguson is the CEO of Argonaut.
You know, this is a kid who grows up within a mile of Lake Erie their whole lives and doesn't have enough opportunity out there.
The idea behind the partnership dives deeper than simply providing exposure to the lake. It's a path to a maritime career. One potential solution to a decades-old problem here: not enough opportunity for students in difficult financial circumstances to find jobs in good-paying fields. Aiden Hall is Argonaut's lead captain.
A lot of careers on the water, things from working in marinas to driving boats to driving the freighters and the tugboats that work out on the Cuyahoga and in the Lake Erie and the rest of the Great Lakes.
There's even more. These students monitor lake conditions by checking Cleveland Water Alliance buoys for water levels, temperature, and pollution as an introduction to technical skills. Technical skills that could send a student on the path to a career as a treatment plant operator or engineer, or maybe as an environmental specialist or scientist or irrigation specialist.
Temperature readings, what's that mean to a kid growing up in Cleveland unless they see it every day and they start to make meaningful connections?
These students spend a good deal of their time on Cleveland Port Authority vessels learning to clean plastics, seagrass, and trash out of the water.
Not only are we preparing them for futures, but we're really handing over the responsibility of maintaining this fantastic resource.
And they are getting results. According to Argonaut, these students pull 300,000 pounds of garbage out of the lake and river every year. And that's just in Cleveland.
It's a massively unique, awesome experience for a lot of these high school kids.
And while it is a unique student experience, it's not easy work, and the hours are long. And students must pass the traditional core curriculum. To work their way to captain, like Quentin Oliver, it takes 360 days, 5 hours a day to get that license. And who knows, maybe someday he'll captain a barge like this.
I never knew that these careers even existed growing up. When I went to Davis, they provided opportunities for us to go on the water, and I kind of explored it, dipped my toe in it, and kind of fell in love with it.
There are programs across the country that aim to get students interested in trade jobs.
From welding and electrical to HVAC and masonry, these are high-paying jobs in high demand. According to the home service app Angie, more than a quarter of home tradespeople are within 10 years of retirement age. The report also found a third of the workers surveyed said they joined their trades between 16 and 20 years old. But an increase in college enrollment since the 1980s has impacted teens' involvement in the industries.
When I was back in high school, I remember it was always, you got to go to college to make a good living. And really, not at all. Not at all, not even close.
The U.S. Department of Education estimates the average two-year public trade school cost about $88,000 less than a four-year public college.
Up next, the Duckmaster takes us under his wing.
And they kind of make sure that everything is presentable for the public for when they see the Duck Palace.
From wake-up calls to rolling out the red carpet, see how he keeps a beloved tradition alive.
Memphis is home to a one-of-a-kind job, and it's part of a tradition nearly 90 years in the making.
People from all over, including celebrities, gather at the Peabody Hotel to see the daily Duck March.
Reporter Kim Clark has a behind-the-scenes look at what it takes to be the Duckmaster.
All right, duckies. Good morning.
Duckmaster Keenan Walker starts most days in the $200,000 Royal Duck Palace on the roof of the Peabody Hotel in downtown Memphis.
And then kind of make sure that everything is presentable for the public for when they see the Duck Palace.
Followed by a romaine lettuce breakfast for his team of 5 ducks and a pep talk.
There's a lot of people who've come a long way to see you. You never know what they've been through before they got here. All right, so we got to march some hope into that lobby. March some smiles and march some joy down there to the people.
Then it's downstairs to set the stage, rolling out the red carpet.
I usually pick some children that I refer to as the red carpet team to unroll the carpet for me.
Followed promptly at 10:45 by an opening ceremony.
Welcome to the Peabody Memphis, the South's Grand Hotel.
Then back to the roof to gather the stars of the show.
Let's do it. Let's do it, duckies.
On to the elevator for an 11 o'clock grand entrance of a well-trained Drake and his 4 female North American mallards.
Ladies and gentlemen, the march of the world-famous Peabody Ducks.
Everybody use the steps. Looking good. We're almost there. There's one.
Peabody's first ducks appeared in 1933 after the general manager released live decoys into the fountain following a hunting trip, and were an instant hit. In 1940, Peabody bellman and former circus animal trainer Edward Pembroke trained the ducks to march into the fountain, becoming the very first Duckmaster. Even today, the Duckmaster is responsible for training.
We do get new ducks every 3 months because we released the previous team back to the wild. So when I get a new team, of course, they're terrified. You know, they're unsure of their surroundings. But there is a 2-week overlay now where I have both teams together, like the veterans and the rookies together in the Duck Palace with a fence separating them. I mean, but the rookie ducks will see me interacting with the veteran. You got this. You got this. All the way to the elevator. Good. So I just talk to them and I get them used to my voice and my spirit, and the day by day they'll start approaching the little fence, and that's when I start training them.
Duckmaster Keenan believes it's his job to give visitors and guests an unforgettable experience before, during, and after each duck march.
You know, and I never ever took that for granted. And I'd take every encounter and every day that I come in and do this as a gift. I mean, so this is a ceremony that's for everybody.
Including celebrities like Wynonna Judd, an honorary celebrity duckmaster, one of many over the years.
One duck march I was doing, Samuel L. Jackson and Anthony Mackie were both at the duck march.
So how does one become the duckmaster?
That's something that I ask myself every day. You know, it definitely wasn't anything that I planned.
After years as a tour guide and historian at the National Civil Rights Museum, Stax Academy of American Soul Music, and a touring company, Keenan landed at the Peabody as concierge, bringing the ducks and the joy to all who come.
It's a slice of innocence. It's a slice of joy. And God knows we all need a little bit of both right about now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have presented the world famous Peabody Ducks to you all, and they and I hope that you all have a magnificent day. Thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate you all. Thank you.
Another job for the Duckmaster, collecting the eggs that are laid each day, sometimes in the fountain. Those eggs are sent to the farm to hatch, and eventually those ducks will return to the hotel for duty. You can tell everybody what you said in the middle of that story, by the way? When the ducks marched out and he said they're all girls.
Of course, because they were in order and paying attention and following the rules.
Us guys don't do any of that, right? Hey, you're not wrong.
That is something to see.
Yes, it was great. Yes, very nice.
Well, that's going to do it for us on Investigate TV Plus. I'm Tisha Powell.
And I'm Lee Zurich. Thanks for watching.
Next time on Investigate TV Plus, from mom of 6,
and this is your dress,
to six-figure CEO.
Now my rate is about $20,000 per ad.
We reveal why more Americans are becoming their own boss and ask experts for the keys to a successful business.